In Islam, Allah is the Arabic word for God, and is considered to be the one and only deity worshipped by Muslims. Allah is considered to be the creator of the universe and all that exists within it, and is considered to be all-knowing, all-powerful, and merciful. Muslims believe that Allah is the same God worshipped by Jews and Christians, but that the concept of God in Islam is unique in its own way. They believe that Allah is beyond human comprehension and that His greatness cannot be fully understood or described. In Islam, the worship of Allah is central to a Muslim's life and is expressed through daily prayers, charity, fasting, and pilgrimage to Mecca. Muslims believe that by following the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad and living a life of obedience to Allah, they can achieve salvation and enter into paradise after death. Overall, Allah is seen as the source of all guidance and wisdom, and Muslims seek to submit to His will and live in accordance with His commands.
Muslims often refer to God as Allah. This is a universal name for God and does not refer to an exclusively Islamic God. Interestingly, this name is related to the Aramaic and Hebrew names for God, Allah and Elohim. Therefore, Allah is simply the Arabic name for God, which affirms that He is one singular God with no partners or equals. The name Allah cannot be pluralized or limited to a specific gender, which establishes that God is one and that He is unique from everything He creates. Muslims continue to use this original Arabic name for God, Allah, since it perfectly expresses His unique qualities. God is the creator and the sustainer of the universe who created everything for a reason. Muslims believe that He created humankind with a simple purpose, to worship Him. He sent messengers to guide people in fulfilling this purpose. Some of these messengers include Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, peace be upon all of them. They all taught a consistent message about God by affirming His greatness as the creator and guiding people to worship Him alone. This basic concept has always resonated with people's natural understanding of God. When the final prophet, Muhammad, peace be upon him, was asked about God, the answer came directly from God in the holy book of Muslims, the Quran, also spelled Quran, say, He is God the One, God the Eternal. He begot no one nor was He begotten. No one is comparable to Him. 112:1-4, this is a clear statement by God describing Himself to humanity without any room for confusion. God is one and is exalted above everything He creates, and He is capable over all things. Fully accepting the oneness of God is to accept that He is distinct from everything else. It would not suit God's majesty and glory to associate the limited attributes of His creation to Him because He is not restricted in any way, while His creation is. He is the first with no beginning and the last with no end. Everything in the universe was created by His will. He is not confined by space or time, and He is the only one who is in control and provides for His creation. He is God, there is no God other than Him. It is He who knows what is hidden as well as what is in the open. He is the Lord of mercy, the giver of mercy. He is God, there is no God other than Him, the controller, the Holy One, source of peace, grantor of security, guardian over all, the Almighty, the compeller, the truly great. God is far above anything they consider to be His partner. He is God, the creator, the originator, the shaper. The best names belong to Him. Everything in the heavens and earth glorifies Him. He is the Almighty, the wise. Quran 59:22-24. Logically, by the use of the common analogy that one cannot have more than one captain in a boat, you can start to see the reasoning that I am trying to convey. With power in the hands of more than one God, there would clearly be argument. However, one effective point that non-Muslims or curious ones such as myself put across is that this theory is contradictory to Islamic teachings, because we are associating God with the human attribute of not being able to share power. The answer to this is clear. It is not an assumption by humans that there would be chaos if there was more than one God, for if it was putting in mind that Islam teaches that humans with their finite perceptions cannot make any assumptions about God, then it would be very wrong. However, it is a fact made known to us by Allah Himself in the Quran. If there had been in them, the heaven and the earth, other gods beside Allah, then surely both would have gone to ruin. 21-23. Pantheism is another theory that Muslims believe to be wrong. Although Muslims believe that Allah is everywhere, He is a separate entity and therefore cannot be reincarnated in everything as the pantheists believe, who although are not strictly defined as polytheists, they are certainly not monotheistic in the Islamic sense. Going against the oneness of Allah, shirk, is a very major sin. Surely Allah will not forgive that any partner be associated with him. 449. Regarding the attributes of Allah, Islam teaches that Allah, although he has many attributes, cannot be fully understood by man. Man is restricted in thought into that which is manifest. Allah, however, is unique and above human manifestation. Allah, the God of all humanity, is perceived differently in other religions. Since man would be limiting Allah by creating a physical image of him, Muslims do not. Allah is, as I said, unique and superior to his creations. Thus the biblical statement that was mentioned in Genesis chapter 1:27 that God has created man in his own image is a view that is not shared by Muslims. Other religions believe that God resembles creation. They believe in describing causes by their effects. An example of this is that we can describe a corpse to be horrifying, the effect, but we may also say that the person responsible for this death, the murderer, the cause, is also horrifying, cause resembles effect. This theory can easily be put aside, for although it may be true for a limited number of examples, the vast majority can prove it wrong, i.e. a shoe does not resemble a shoemaker, etc. Thus Islam does not try in any way to personify Allah. Whilst it may be true that two of his attributes are that he sees and hears, this does not mean that he has eyes and ears like you and I. His hearing or seeing cannot be comprehended by us as finite beings. Allah, the Almighty, is ideal. He is the just and the judge, as well as the avenger of evil. It follows that to test mankind one must judge fairly and punish those who do evil. An example of Allah's justness is that we are only accountable for our own actions, unlike the Christian concept of the original sin, for the Quran says that no bearer can bear a burden of another. Muslims do not agree with the Judeo-Christian concept of God having the necessity to rest as they say he did after creating the world. All God needs to say is be, and it is. Tiredness is a human attribute, as is making mistakes. This is not applicable to God, who is infallible. Allah is also pre-existent to all he has created. He is the first, and as Aristotle put it in his cosmological theory, the prime mover. In conclusion, Allah is the one and only God, the creator of the universe, and the source of all guidance and wisdom. He is merciful, just, and compassionate, and is always there for those who turn to him in faith and humility. By understanding and following his teachings, we can lead fulfilling lives filled with meaning, purpose, and peace. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy it, like the video, share it, and hit the subscribe button, and may Allah guide us all to the right path and bless us with his infinite mercy and grace.